So, Void, this has been week one. Full week out here in Kansas.
Yeah, officially has been 7 days since coming out here from California.
How are you adjusting to everything?
Honestly, pretty smoothly. I mean, the weather is super cold compared to California weather, but as far as everything else, I've been adjusting pretty well. Found a job here pretty quickly, and all the prices down here are really cheap.
Dude, you were telling me something the other day about that first job. What was the first thing that you had to do? I think that was actually kind of funny.
Man, so I do masonry as a trade, and man, first day on the job, they have me and like a couple other laborers move like 300 block from one site to another site by hand, and it was just the craziest 8 hours I've ever had. Like moving block and mixing concrete, and like it literally was just go all day.
Not exactly what I was thinking, but it's all good. I was thinking the coyote.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah, first day on the job on one of my masonry jobs, he has me go pick up a dead coyote and throw it away in one of the trash bins. It was crazy. It was under one of the campers. I had to get a shovel and pick it up. It was just nasty. Yeah.
You had to burn it too, didn't you?
Yeah, burn it too, on the wood pallets. It was an odd request from him, but whatever gets the job done, I guess.
Money's money, right?
Money is money.
That's crazy. So yeah, you guys have been doing actually really well. So let's slice up the team and kind of like, what do you think and how do you feel like coming into this new season?
I'm feeling pretty good. There's a lot of ups and downs. I think the biggest thing we need to work on right now is just communicating with each other. I know we all got to put in the work individually. Playing time and repetitions and learning and watching the pros and learning on our own. But as far as like putting it all together as a core three right now, I think we're doing a pretty good job. I think our pacing could be better. I think we could be on the same page as far as communicating with each other during the game. But as far as like the first week and a half of the game coming out, I mean, I think we're doing a pretty good job.
I think so. Yeah, it's had almost some upsets too against was it Cloud9 and Conwa and some S&D there.
Yeah, we played Cloud9 really close. We ended up losing to them only one round. We went to round 11. And then we've been playing some good EU teams, some top 8 teams, playing them really closely. And I think that's really motivating us to keep on pushing and grinding because we want to be that next top team in the league.
Definitely a difference between being good and being great. And I think that's kind of why we haven't really sealed in our fourth yet.
Yeah, I think we're really picky with who we want our fourth to be. We kind of have like this AR player in our head that we've envisioned that we kind of like have been obsessing over, and we just haven't really found that person yet to really fill the spot that we're looking for. But I know that we're not trying to settle for less, and we're trying to find that right missing puzzle.
Yeah, I agree. How do you feel about this new program that we've been using? Fantastic. I know we haven't used it very long, but do you think, what's your opinion on it?
Yeah, at first I thought it was, a little tedious. I thought, for a second I was like, man, here's another, something to add to my workload. But honestly, after, uploading 3 or 4 VODs to it and like really taking it seriously and adding these events and these, comments under the videos, I think it's a really good reminder to remind yourself how to play good, fundamental COD. And I think that the software isn't there to, instantly improve you. It's something that to work on over time, but it's there to show you where your mistakes were. And from what I've experienced, if you just keep seeing your own mistakes and keep, thinking about the past, and you learn a lot quicker than just winging it every day,
Yeah, I feel so. I've seen that even in the program that I'm using or that have out here in Kansas with the Twisters. I'm seeing that in some of the younger players that they're like, oh no, I didn't say that, or I didn't do that, and you're able to really slow it down and look at that and then understand, okay, oh well, maybe I did do that, or maybe I didn't say that. So it gives a really good perspective, I think, on that. Be kind of like pretty excited to see what that does over the long haul, see if it kind of builds the team a little bit better and gives us a little bit more in depth,
Yeah.
As like CDL, it's kind of like a blender.
I agree. I mean, I think the more that you acknowledge your mistakes that you made and like just face that you did make those mistakes, like if you just keep repeating it, you're eventually are gonna learn and like to not make those mistakes in the future.
How do you feel about the game in general, like compared to BO6?
I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I know a lot of people in the community have been hating. It kind of feels like a lot of forced hate recently on the community, really, and I don't see why. As far as pubs and zombies go, I can't really speak for that. But as far as the competitive side of the game goes, it sucks that right now it's kind of like a one gun meta kind of thing. A lot of people have been complaining about the assault rifle being too strong. But I feel like it's always never a win situation. It's either the AR is too strong or the SMG is too strong. And I've been having a blast with it. I've been just trying to get used to all the movement mechanics and stuff like that. I've still had no problem using the SMG, even though the AR is pretty busted right now. But I think before the season starts here in December, I think they're gonna get everything fixed anyways, and it would go back to normal to regular rules.
I know I've had a little bit of time to play on some pubs, man. I've been terrorizing people with knives. When 19 and 0 with a knife is like it's probably not my game per se because I'm more into Fortnite, but I felt like I could terrorize some people in there.
Yeah,
It's been pretty fun.
I think they did a good job with the content side of it. I think this is probably the most content we've had from a Black Ops drop in a while. They gave a lot of content for zombies. Campaign, I've heard a lot of good things about campaign. Not the story part, but the end game mode. I've heard a lot of people have been playing end game and really enjoying that. And I've been enjoying pubs recently, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of annoying factors in it, but it's too fun. It's too fun to complain.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've heard a lot of stuff that was in that the end game too, and I wonder if some of those mechanics and stuff they have in there is going to translate to the new Warzone. Like I heard about the wingsuits and
Yeah, the
grapplers
wingsuits,
and some other stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they're trying to see the feedback on the campaign to see what they want to add to the Warzone game mode.
I think it's a smart idea though. Like kind of put it in there and kind of get that feedback first before you get a whole bunch of data feedback.
Yeah, no, I
on your
agree.
game.
I agree. I like it. I think if they can go back to kind of like how they did in BO4, the blackout kind of feeling, I feel like that was going to bring a lot of the Warzone community back together.
Yeah, I've been noticing. You said a lot of content. I've been noticing like these sniper clips too, and like just no scoping for ridiculously amounts of kills. Like it's just kind of crazy, and it's good to see the content come back to the game.
I agree.
So we do have Chico's out there in Columbus, Ohio, huh? How's he doing? It's a kickoff event, right?
Yeah. He went with this college team that he had, and they went to Columbus, Ohio, to play in the tournament. They went 1-2 in pool play, so they're gonna have a mid-tier kind of seeding tomorrow. So they're probably gonna face up against some of the better pool play teams. But I think it's cool to see one of my teammates out there getting more quality reps while we're still all trying to get better at the game. And I love to see him out there playing. And I wish the best for him.
Absolutely, definitely wish the best, Chico. Dude, at the event too, there's this team. I don't know what their name was. I can't remember. But they were getting offered $600 a player to drop out of the bracket and let this other team play that completely threw pool play. What would you do in that situation? Like a what if scenario?
Man, I was thinking about this earlier when I first heard about it, man. $600, I mean, that pays for pretty much, that's more money than you would get unless you would go to the top four, it honestly would just depend. I mean, if this was like, Miami Urgent Fury and someone offered me $600 to, just drop out of it, I think I'd talk to my teammates about it. Let's consider this. But when you're at one of those tournaments, you flew so far to get there. For most people, it's just one of those things where you're just like, I just want to play it out,
Yeah, that's kind of what that team decided. They think there was one that was military, so he had gotten the permission to actually come out and got the leave of absence from work. And then some other guy drove like 13 hours straight from Miami to get there. They're like, yeah, we're going to play it out.
Yeah,
so.
I think at that point you might as well play it out. But I could definitely see how some people could be tempted to take that, especially some of the teams that didn't do as good in the pool play.
Absolutely. So since you've been out here in Kansas, what do you think about the Kansas culture? Have you learned anything or seen anything that's different than California?
Not too much yet. I've only been here for a week, so it's hard to say. But I will say a lot of people down here are much more calmer. It seems like a much more like mellowish town. It's definitely a smaller town from what I'm used to. Sacramento having a population of like 800,000 people. Coming to Kansas, Junction City, only about like 50,000, I think, or something like that. So it's got like small time vibes where like everybody knows each other. But so far it's been really nice. The weather's been really cold, but other than that, I've been loving it here so far.
What was your thoughts about the arena when you came back? Because it wasn't done the last time you were
Yeah,
here.
last time I seen it, it was being built. It had a lot of improvements that needed to happen, and coming back, it was just like night and day. To be honest, you guys got everything hooked up. All the art and aesthetics are across the walls. You guys even had like a small private room for some streamers and some of the practice players too. I think what you guys have done with the community center is like amazing. I mean, I wish I had one of those when I was a kid.
Oh, absolutely. How did you think you were? Did like anybody know you there, or like I try to
Yeah.
get you guys up on the streams and things like that
Nah, I
as
felt
much
like
as I
everybody
can.
knew me there. I came in the first day and everyone was like recognized me and like asking me a bunch of questions. One of the kids even offered me one of the spots next to him on the computers. It felt like everybody knew who I was when I came there first day.
Absolutely, you guys are definitely making a name out there. So, um, I guess we don't have too much more. But what about this content house? Like, I know it's kind of a,
So
you know, it's kind of a gamble,
it's kind
but
of a gamble for sure. I mean, I've always wanted to live in a content house ever since I was a kid. Like watching the OG phase group, watching some of these OG houses that these guys would just make content together. It felt like just living with your best friends and just making content. And I've always wanted to do that, and it's something that I'm trying to explore down here in Kansas, trying to see who would be down to do it, who would be down to basically it's like just rooming with a bunch of streamers, and we all just make content together. We don't always have to collab, we all do our own thing, but just all of us being in the same environment, I've learned from experience that if you want to do something, you set yourself with people that are doing the same thing. So I think it'd be a good idea.
absolutely, I feel like if you don't surround yourself with people who are like-minded and have that same drive, then you're kind of isolated on an island a little bit, and you don't have that drive. Or let's say you feel like you're tired, but you see that somebody else is still grinding. You're like, oh well, why am I not grinding?
Exactly,
And let
yeah.
me put in the extra, extra 2 hours that I thought about, maybe just scrolling through TikTok or something.
Completely agree. I think the same mindset goes for literally everything competitive Call of Duty, all types of esports, or even just life. Like, I find myself watching professional players and just, like, oh man, like, I got a couple hours before I, can do it. Let me hop on again. Let me get some more hours. I think that repetitions is very important for creating like a consistent schedule and just really focusing on the things that you want to do.
Absolutely. You did get a new PC. Now, how has that affected like your play and whatnot since you've been on there? Like,
Yeah, I used to be a type of person that said that like your PC doesn't matter. I got to 205 North America on a pretty lower end 2015 computer that lasted me a very long time, and I still could make the argument that like your PC isn't everything. But I will say after going to this new PC, getting almost triple the amount of performance from my last one, I could definitely feel the improvement. I can feel the smoothness of the game. Like everything is just way better, more consistent, and it's just allowing me to play at the top of my game. To be honest, and I don't think I would want to go back to my old PC.
what about the internet out here? Is the internet pretty solid, or
And
is that pretty?
it's pretty solid. I think anywhere with fiber connection has been very needed in online COD. So I think anywhere that has fiber, you're pretty much good to go. But I will say though, playing on central ping, that's the biggest improvement. I will say, as far as like having fiber is cool and all, but being in a central location where I'm not pinging 60s or 70s from the West Coast. And anytime I play on the East Coast lobby now, it's 20s, maybe 30s, and anytime I play in Centrals, it's just 20 and below, and it feels really smooth and consistent, which I think is super important for esports.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I guess I don't have any more questions, but yeah, it's been really nice actually having you out here, having somebody else that's like-minded, especially in
Hmm.
X Element. I know this has been like one of our biggest goals is to try to get people to come out here and to kind of take that next step. If there's anybody out there, you guys are interested, like serious about it, DM us up. Like we're
Hmm.
ready to take that next step, but sometimes it's a little bit of a leap of faith.
Yeah, you're not gonna do the streaming stuff or gaming stuff part time. It's one of those things where you got to choose if you want to do it for fun, and if you want to do it for fun, you can do it part time. 2-3 hours a night or whatever. But if you want to do this for a living, if you see yourself doing this for a living, you really do gotta put this stepping stones. in place for you to do that. You need to make time for this and be serious about it. And moving to Kansas for me was like that last missing puzzle piece for me to really step up my content, step up my gaming to the next level. And if this is something you're super passionate about, you do got to take that leap of faith. And I'm just grateful that X Element has been so loving and caring for me, and that they've allowed me to do this opportunity, and I couldn't have done it without them so far. This has just been an amazing experience. It feels like a big family, to be honest.
Yeah, I can definitely relate there. I used to stream quite a bit for Fortnite. Started out on a hotspot, actually. I got like 750 followers on a hotspot in the
Yeah.
middle of the country. And then ended up moving out here to Kansas. And when I did get on better internet, I was like number 3 on YouTube to be found for Fortnite during one of the live events, which was absolutely huge. It was averaging like 60 viewers, something like that. And I could have went that way. And I had some really good friends. They were like, well, why don't you just keep doing this? And I was like, no, it's like, I don't want to just do this for me. I know that like my time is short when it comes to competitive gameplay and stuff. I'm just getting old, But my heart and my drive for competitiveness, it will never end. And that's why I kind of stepped back, and I did a lot of streaming with Big Spoon too. Absolutely a great guy. And one night I hit like 38,000 people in my stream. It was an average of like 2,000. And I decided not to chase that route because I know there's a lot of young guys, young talent out there that could use help and guidance. And that's kind of why I stepped back and went to school so that I could be able to help you guys out, because you guys are the next ones coming up. It's like, and without having taken that step, I never would have been able to build the esports arena that's out here, or focus in on X Element and actually like develop teams and help keep that drive alive for X Element. So definitely understand it depends on like what you want to do, and when you take that next step, it is a leap of faith, because trying to not compete when you're competitive is hard. It tore my heart. It really did, because like I loved getting on stream every single night, talking to the stream, and having fun. Like really, because I didn't think of it as work.
Yeah.
It was just my passion. But now I'm finding a way to translate competing into, okay, you guys are now competing, and that's the product of me competing.
I love that.
Yeah. But, well, guys, I guess that's it for this first, podcast or video VOD, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But
let us know what topics you want us to discuss in the next one. We got you guys.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Peace out.